Okay, so for this episode, I think I'm gonna do a dice run. I would like to get a decent alt dice for building in wave. And I think we're gonna do a little owl, or not a little owl, an owl run as well. The owl is gonna be for the assault on Poly. So although it's not something I'm going to be doing for a while, I, want to prepare for it, and having an owl is going to make the assault section at the beginning of Poly really, really easy. So, yeah. Start off with the dice run. Show my stats first. I've not sorted through any of the armor from Infested yet, so no change to any of my stats, basically. Yeah, that's all we're going to be using for these two maps. Oh god, what wave even is it 25? I think it's 25. So I'm basically just going to do the same build I do on my main account, which is Strength Drain and Snare right there, with a buff beam and a golem. And then 4 DSTs and the rest LTs. And then you do want to bring in a Guardian Summoner here for the auras. Just stand next to those auras. Should be fine. I'll just show the first wave here and then cut to the end of the run. So yeah, the golem isn't strictly necessary, but just sort of gives you that insurance that you're not gonna lose. For me, anyway. I mean, the ogres are dying pretty quickly, so it's just kind of nice not to have to use reflects, even though building reflects is faster than switching to the hermit to place a golem down. Or, you can just place a 5th DST instead of that golem. It's either a 5th DST or a reflect beam and another LT. And you can also do 2 summoners as well, but I think that's going to be a little bit worse because you won't be able to boost... I don't think you'll be able to boost all the tower... 12 towers. How many towers are on this buff beam? Can I even see the buff beam? There's 16 towers on the buff beam, so yeah, you're not going to be able to boost everything here. And, also it requires switching to another summoner, so, I mean, you might as well just stay on your apprentice and get the builder bonus. It's faster than switching to a summoner. It's kind of the same thing I do with cat runs as well. Only with cat runs, there's no reason to bring in an extra summoner. Doesn't make the run any faster. But for King's Game, it does make the run faster having an extra summoner. Also, I think with my stats, it would be a bit risky not boosting the auras. Probably also want to build the DSTs where the LTs are, just swap them so that the Huntress Guardian is boosting the 4 DSTs first there instead of the LTs. Just for these ogres at the end of the wave to kill them faster. Alright, well, that's the first wave. I'm gonna cut to the end and yeah, remember to add in your 2 extra characters mid-wave so you get 2 more dice, obviously. Alright, just coming up on the end of the wave here. There we go. Let's see if we got anything. We did get an ultimate. Yeah, I mean, that's good enough. Good enough for what I want to use it for anyway. Now what you want to do with dice is, because obviously the idea is that you know, use it mid-wave to collect mana. And the way it collects mana is it's like a Mega Chicken or any other melee pet. It just has a melee attack. And you want to upgrade the attack speed. I think it stops at 6. Yeah, gets to 6. Gonna cap the damage and upgrade the rest into rate. It also has a movement speed bonus, doesn't it? Yeah. It's pretty nice. We'll keep that in our pets. Use that mid-wave in some situations. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to be farming dice. Well, not anymore since I got that one, so that's pretty funny. But if you wanted to get a ++1, you know, then... Or if I wanted to get a ++1, then that's how I would farm it. Right. Next thing is owls. And for that, that's on Arcane Library, wave... Is it wave 20? It must be, right? Yeah, I think it's wave 20. So let's see. Can I get away with 1 aura stack is what I want to know. Like about there, probably. This is also similar to the build I do on my main account. So let's see. We'll do a Shroom Tower and a Golem. And then I think 3 DSTs since I'm using a Golem. And the rest LTs. I'll do something like that. Like that, and then like that. Not really too bothered about having DU left over. For this, I'm just going to swap to his Summoner. And we're going to boost those auras and see if we can do this with my aura size. Just stand here so I'm boosting the auras first. See how this goes. Okay, nice. Looks like the Harbingers don't even come close to getting in range. And once again, like with the King's game, I'll just cut to the end of the run after this wave. It looks like it's going pretty well. Yeah, we kind of have pretty good stats by this point to be able to do this kind of content without any trouble. Yep, piece of cake. Alright, I'll just, yeah, see you when the run is over. Alright, and there we have a finished owl run. Hopefully. It is wave 20, right? Yeah, there we go, Mr. Owl. And we got nothing. I'm just looking for an ultimate with good hero stats and good max pet size right there. Basically anything past 60 is what I'm looking for. So yeah, none of those are good. But yeah. Another pet I want, since this is kind of a short video, I suppose I can do something else that I want, and this is also to prepare for Polly. And that's the actual Polly pet, the parrot you get from Buccaneer Bay. My plan is to use that for the Arch Kraken, which is the Kraken you fight before going into the boss gauntlet in Polly. So yeah, my plan is to use a Polly parrot for that, which requires beating wave 25 on Buccaneer Bay, I believe. And we do not have any of the survival waves for this, so it's mildly annoying. So we can figure something out here. Oh, you don't get much mana, do you? Okay, well, I can probably just do my normal build with some minions thrown in. It should be fine. It's going to be a bit awkward. Well, no, it won't be awkward because 243 enemies isn't really going to be a problem. Even with this low mana. So, let's see. Just do... something... like that. Do we need an aura here as well? How am I gonna do this? You know, I think I'm gonna consult my build because I appear to have forgotten it, so I'll be right back. Right, so I did use 2 auras, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that with this aura size. We can try though. I think this is with electric auras as well. Yeah, so we can do electric auras as well. And then in here, can I fit a strength drain? No. Okay, well, let's try this out then. Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm not going to be able to get these on the buff beam, am I? Because my auras are too small. In that case, yeah, let's just do 3 aura stacks. Although I don't want to... We'll probably just do... Strength drain here. And then a full aura stack here. Gonna be a little bit worse, but at least I'll actually be able to complete the map. And then let's start off with, because the golem is so expensive, let's do some apprentice towers. Oh, and we can use our dice that we newly acquired. Oh no. I forgot about that. Dark Elf Warriors, okay. Oh. No, no, no. Bad orc. This should be fine, right? Surely they won't die. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Alright, now I do want to reposition these DSTs because they are not currently in the right place I want them to be. I think I want it more like that, that. Yeah, like that. And we can get our golem down. Although, if I'm going to use minions, why am I... Yeah, I don't need a golem. And that 3DU, I guess we can build some reflect beams. Should be good. Then for minions, I'll probably just do spiders here. Four spiders like that. Same for this side. And then just a mage like... Can I put it up here? It doesn't really matter. That's some like pirate invasion tech right there. Just put it over there. Not enough mana. Yeah, I can just put this one. Right there should be fine. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna sit through or record sitting through all the waves up until we get a poly. I'll just upgrade everything and cut to 2 waves before before the poly, before we get that. So yeah, I'll see you then. Alright, so we just got done with wave 24, and upon reaching 25, that's when we get the poly. So very nice. Some things I changed about the build, because this core was taking a bit of damage. I moved the buff beam back here, just put some minions on. Did the same thing over here, just put some minions on the buff beam. Was getting some spider issues. The spider spawning here was webbing my tower, so I put a shroom there. Electric aura would probably work as well. But yeah, that's all I changed. But and oh, I was using my dice the whole time. So we did not get any good polys. But more to explain why I'm want to get one of those to use it instead of something like an eye is that it is way, way, way easier to get a good poly than an eye. They're a lot less rare, and they're actually better in some ways. If you don't want a pet, if you don't need to rely on it shooting through terrain, shooting through walls, then a poly is much better. It does a lot more damage and, well, not a lot more damage. It does more damage and it's easier to farm. So that's why I'm going for it. And my intention is to use it for, like I said earlier, the Archkraken in poly, and also the Dragon on CR3. But I've not tested that at all, so that could change. But that's my current plan anyway. Because poly is pretty good at dealing with the Kraken as well, since there's a Kraken on CR3. So it's sort of, you know, has 3 different purposes there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be farming. Just a combination of owls and polys, you know, off camera here and there. Yeah. Next episode, I think I'm going to tackle Emerald City and decide whether to... Because I know Emerald City survival is pretty difficult, but I'm just not sure how difficult. Like, I probably can do it with my stats, but it's going to be kind of painful. So I might resort to farming a Cupid on Lover's Paradise instead of the Cupid on Emerald City. And the difference between the two is the one on Lover's Paradise is it shoots more projectiles. I think it shoots 7 additional projectiles instead of 3. Or 2, I could be wrong. So it shoots more projectiles, but it has less damage. And what that ends up being is... It's a little bit less damage, but the healing is better, I believe. So, depending on how difficult Emerald City is and how much of a pain it is to farm, we might go for the Cupids on Lovers instead. But we'll have to see about that. So, yeah. That's going to be it.